This is the week 8 reflection. I want to start off this talk by talking a little bit about Node XL. I thought it was a really cool program. Excuse me. A lot of the class seemed to dislike it, but I thought it was one of the best ones we've used. I think its relevance is a little bit not as useful as maybe Google Refine or Data Wrangler that we've had some time with, but it was still pretty cool to use, and if there is a good application for it, it's definitely useful. Personally, I think I really enjoyed it because of the Excel aspect of it. I've always kind of been comfortable with Excel. I've never gotten that into it, but I've done a lot with Excel, and I know how it works, and I understand the function part of it at least. So a lot of that came super naturally, like some of the more complicated parts with just making functions, that was not a huge deal, especially with those little hints. It was really cool to be able to see what's possible to do with it, having all those tweets that are potentially related. Pretty cool to see, but still, especially with the last part of the assignment where there was all the flood disaster tweets, it seems like there's just still a little bit too much noise in it to really get that much useful stuff out of it. So I don't know. I don't know how application wise how good it is. And then it sounds like a lot of people had a lot of trouble with it, especially just the install aspect. So that's kind of a huge issue. I luckily didn't have any problem at all. But other than that, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fine. The other thing in class, Laisha Palin came in and talked with us. I thought that was really cool. I've had her before. Love her as a professor. She talked about a new class she's doing, which is potentially almost a follow-up to this class. I know she's still in the starting stages of it, but in our discussion with her, we talked about how this class is a very high level, just like skimming the surface of certain aspects, but never really getting too deep into it, which is fine and great and super useful, but drilling down a little bit more would be cool, and that's kind of what she sounds like she's going after. If I can get into that class next semester, I think I'm already sold on it, so that'll be super cool. I'm looking forward to hopefully being in another class from last semester with Laisha again. And then finally, want to comment a little bit on the data I've been getting from my project. Last week I was in New York for CMJ, being part of my data set essentially, which I think is really cool. But I have a lot of data. It was interesting because I was getting so much data each day while CMJ was happening, and already it's super trailed off. So I'm thinking total, I'm not really going to have much more than maybe 75,000 tweets, which I still think is a great amount of data, but just even in the initial stages, seeing how, one thing I want to look at was how it starts to kind of ramp up as you get towards CMJ. During that week it just blows up, and then afterwards it kind of dies back down, and see if there's any long tail effect or anything like that, residual from it, which I'm sure I'll see once I start doing some graphing and manipulation, but I can already tell just from returning so many tweets and how many I'm getting back, that it's really dropping off pretty fast, which is fine, and like I said, I've kind of expected that. So, but that's about it. I've already started working on next week's homework and not having fun with it at all, and that's where I'll leave it with this video, and I will talk about that a lot more in my next, I'm sure. Until next week, see ya.